Joining us now is a man who I think is a very good businessman.
Oh, yeah.
Never gets talked about, ever. So much cake from throwing a football perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
What has he done off the field? Well, obviously it's all been documented. Will be even more so on December
17th. Yep.
On Netflix in a 3-part docuseries titled Enigma about this 4-time NFL MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, quarterback of the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, listen.
You're going to do that every time until it comes out?
I don't have to do it, but it is a pretty cool thing. They don't make documentaries about nobodies. I told you this last time. It's a pretty cool thing that, A, anybody wants to watch a documentary about your life because that means you've accomplished things, and B, the fact that it's happening to a guy that we know. I'm excited to watch it as well. I think it's going to be a good thing. In the trailer for it, buddy, you take us in there. You take us into basically into all of it. So I'm pumped to see it, man. I'm excited to learn about you a little bit more.
Yeah, you going to get the Cliff Notes or have Foxy or one of the boys, Gumpy, watch it and tell you what happened?
No, I watch things. It's tough for me to read stuff. Tough for me to read stuff.
Not a big reader.
I will if it's, like X post length.
Yeah.
If it's an X post length, I'll read. Even those longer ones that are coming out. And even threads, I'll go.
Big E story, you read that?
That's the longest thing I've ever read in my entire life. Players Tribune, Big E of the WWE wrote his story. I was 35 minutes into that thing, and I actually said, whoa, I could see how people get lost in a book. That was like a 30 scroller. That was like a 30 scroller. And worth it, by the way. Big E, hey, I love you, man.
Shout out Big E.
Big E, we love you. Yeah. We love you. Your life story got me captivated, brother. Got me captivated in there.
I thought you were talking about Big E from the Road Rules Real World Challenge.
We love Big E. He's been on the program.
Yes, he has.
Big E's been on the program. Obviously, I think
he's a DJ now.
Yeah, he's super fit.
Has he been? He's been on the program?
Yeah, he's a DJ down at what's that Texas?
South Padre Island.
Yeah,
South Padre Island.
There it is, down in Texas. He runs that. I think he runs the whole island still every spring break, as he should. In great shape, hair still flowing. Nonetheless, let's chit-chat about you a little bit. You throw for 300 yards for the first time in a long time on Sunday. It inevitably ends up in an overtime loss to the Miami Dolphins. That type of indifference in emotion, obviously successful offense. This Jets offense looked like what it could be. Assembled how it is. Alan Lazard's back healthy. Some other pieces fall into place. Devontae and Garrett both go for over 100. Inevitably, it's in a loss, though, to the Miami Dolphins. How do you kind of register it all, and how do you view Sunday's game?
Well, it's an L, so that's the first way. We did some good things on offense. We've done a lot of good things on offense. So throughout the year, just in spurts, I felt like we were more consistent for 4 quarters. Didn't get touched ball in overtime, but more consistent for 4 quarters. We scored on 5 straight possessions, I believe. So I think we've done all year. 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals. Then we had a couple 3-and-outs, and we put together a drive to take the lead, and then didn't touch the ball again. So that was kind of the way it went. I was proud of our young guys in the backfield, our rookies who were playing with Brees out. Isaiah and Braylon did a really nice job. Obviously, Garrett had a big productive day. Devontae had a big productive day. We had some penalties that hurt us in situational football for sure, and came up short.
Okay, so when you look back on it, you obviously have another game. We have another couple games still. Season's still going. And we looked back on your career. I think 2008 and 2018, you had losing seasons when you were playing. And at Cal, did you guys have any losing seasons?
No, we were 8-6 and 10-1.
Okay, and then at JUCO, how many years were you at JUCO?
10-1 1 year.
Okay, high school, were you?
High school, I think we won every year.
Okay, so this is like your 3rd losing season in the history of football of you playing.
Chico Jaguars, 8th grade, we were 2-7.
Come on.
Yikes.
Okay, so what do you pull from that 7th grade year with the sorry ass?
8th grade.
Sorry, what do you pull from the sorry ass Chico Jaguars whenever you were in 8th grade to kind of mindset this year? Because this is not something that is normal for you, especially playing. 2008, 2018, and now is seemingly you've committed your entire life to football at this point, 41 years old. How is the mindset and what is the thought week after week here, knowing that mathematically eliminated and this season is not going to be what you guys thought it was going to be?
Well, I mean, we get paid for the 17 weeks of the season, playing 17 games. So I guess 18 weeks. So you keep playing. If you're healthy, I feel like that's your responsibility. So it turns into, what are you playing for? I think first and foremost is pride. Pride encompasses everything. It's your pride in your performance, love for the game, love for your teammates, regard for the opportunity. Then there's other things that I'm sure can be motivation for people. You're talking about stats and bonuses and different things that come into play, whether you're 10-3 or 3-10. There's always those things that are tied into contracts. So I'm sure there'll be motivation for guys in that way. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to playing for pride and playing because you love the game. Obviously, it's been a tough season for us, but there's one way to finish this thing, and that's the right way, and that's going out and not changing the way you prepare and not changing your approach and going out and being a true professional.
Big one against the Jags this weekend.
Let's go.
Huge.
Hey, we can get a win down here.
Yep.
We can get a flight home at least. We're celebrating, having a good time. You better hope though that Big Costco and Little Costco don't go down there. They're undefeated at NFL games in Florida.
Yep.
They are completely defeated in NFL games in Texas. So if they swing by Duval with Tony Khan, who they've been pounding around with, watch out for the 5 big booms as you come out, because that thing isn't quitting. Okay, so just let the boys know they got a fireman head too, potentially.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude.
That might be part of the problem.
They're gonna bring the
This guy wrestled.
Do you know what's been going on in Jersey lately?
Well,
and I'm not talking about the football. Not just talking about the football. There's been some crazy things going on. There's some
like McDonald's?
There's some drones in the sky. Yeah, there's some interesting things going on. Interesting things with the drones. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe it's just some kids messing around. Maybe not though.
Hold on, this is happening in New Jersey? This is a New Jersey thing?
Yeah, the New Jersey, there was a senator that just made a comment about it, keeping our citizens safe. They need to tell us what's going on, if it's military or non-military or UAP or whatever the hell it is. But there's people in Jersey, it's people interested what the hell's going on with these drones.
Well, I seen your house that you bought out there on Zillow and Law Windows. You think they're going to potentially sneak down and kind of get a peek see of you? Are you guys doing anything? Are you putting up... Are you putting up any different curtains or blinds or anything so these drones aren't buzzing the tower and maybe checking old Aaron out?
I'm thinking about having a Friday night 5E experience where you call in you have a big kind of meditation circle, and then you call in the aliens and you use little green lasers to bring them in. So thinking Friday night, maybe doing if it's a nice night and it's a clear night, might try and have a little 5E experience, bring them in.
Okay, so I went Bigfoot hunting in Georgia one time with a guy on the internet that said he...
Squatching?
Yeah, I went squatching down in Georgia. I found this guy on the internet. He said he had seen Bigfoot 3 times over the last 20 years. And after the first time he saw it, he got so addicted to looking for Bigfoot out in the woods. He actually left his wife and his kids, moved into the woods. He became a recluse, and he ran a Bigfoot hunting club down there in Georgia. Found him on the internet, paid him $500. I said, you know what, this guy's committed. We went out in the hills of Georgia in the middle of the night, okay? Wild scene, went out there, and we had a big megaphone almost, and he would scream into it what Bigfoot sounds are. And
how'd it sound? Do you know how it sounded?
Sounded like he was just yelling at the top of his lungs. I mean, I didn't hear a single cadence that I didn't really understand. It all seemed pretty human yelly to me, but I certainly gave it a go. He gave it a go. We were out there 6-7 hours. We did not hear a single thing back. Heard some coyotes.
Okay.
Heard some coyotes. Heard some other animals rustling around. We were out there. I mean, so that is Bigfoot hunting. I've been there. I know what that sound is. When you do your 5E hunt here, alien hunt, what are we chanting? Is there, you said green lasers? We're all just
how do you call them in? What do you mean?
Yeah, what's the move? What's the we have a megaphone? Because that's what I did. And maybe the aliens are Bigfoot flying around in that thing.
Whoa.
Listen, I've never done an actual 5E, but there's a documentary out there called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And I believe it's Stephen Greer, who's kind of legendary in this space. And they put together these experiences where they film it, and they do these nighttime things where they call in the spacecraft. Yeah.
Is it like a midnight yell down there at Texas A&M when they're doing that?
I think so.
Like a rain dance.
I think it's a lot of that. Yeah.
Why do they always probe you? Why are they always taking humans and probing them?
Yeah, why is that always the story? Hey, right up the butt.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
Maybe that's what
got
they
some
do to
insight.
each other. You know how dogs sniff?
Yeah.
And go, hey, you smell good. Here, go poop. And then they move along. What if that's just like their thing? Like,
To learn
It's
you.
like, hey, how you doing?
hey, let's see what's inside you. You know, let's just do that entire thing.
Hey, how are you? Let me real quick, huh?
Yeah, let me learn about this thing you got going on inside you. We would like
Probably
to
all benevolent. It's probably all benevolent, though. You know what I mean? Probably all benevolent.
Yeah, I don't think I know completely what that means, but the context clues are telling me you just said, yeah, it's all bullshit, right? Probably all bullshit. Is that what you said?
No, it's all its own good spirits. You know, it's
Harmless.
it's for our own best interest.
Yeah, I'm sure this is all completely normal. You know, I'm sure that we'll hear about it, and some bazillionaire was flying big old drones around.
Having fun.
Bedminster, I'm telling you, that's where the Trump's golf course is. Maybe Trump was in there and he, you know, or he was at the golf course doing some night putting, and he wanted to,
Oh, spotlight.
you know, no, he just wanted to, like, you know, get back to Mar-a-Lago or something.
Yeah, maybe the drone is the
Quickly.
new chopper. Maybe the
Quickly,
drone is the
yeah.
new chopper. Big drones, hop on top of them. You actually ride them like a magic carpet.
Oh.
Yeah, you actually ride on top of them like a
Jake
magic
Sully.
carpet. Yeah, to get bingo. Okay, so maybe that is. Well, I'm sure there'll
Could
be
be.
something that'll make more sense than that. We want you to know though, if you
Or
talk,
less. Yeah, or less. Could be less.
Oh, the guy was just hanging out at McDonald's. Hey, whenever you talk to these aliens, okay? When you talk to these aliens, please tell them that we at the Pat McAfee Show would like to talk to them, okay? We would like to have a conversation with them. And we're okay if they can't talk our language. We'll figure it out. We had a full interview with a duck multiple times.
Yep.
Okay, so we are the right people if you get a chance to chat with them. Let's move along here. So whenever you see situations end games, Aaron, like a blocked punt won a game pretty much for the Cincinnati Bengals last night. Now the Dallas Cowboys make a mistake. They muff this thing. Blocked field goal against the Giants. Now, I do believe it was a pull shoot, and inevitably the Saints get a win. Giants get a loss. Blocked field goal, Packers, Bears. It's like all these games are coming down to like who can execute in the right moment. What do you think it takes? Now you're on a team, 3 teams that haven't gone, and then you've been on obviously multiple teams that have gone. Is it the attention to detail that separate these teams? What do you think it is, and why do some teams seemingly benefit off of it more so than other people?
Well, I think there's something to being a great role player, and in a day and age where everybody's clamoring to be the star player, you know, the most famous player, the richest player at their position. The games are often won by the best role players, and they won't show up on the stat sheet, but it's the guy that blocks his ass off all game and doesn't give up a pressure, or the guy that selfishly throws his body in there, or the special teamer who makes sure that everybody on that 11 knows exactly what they're doing, knows the rules, knows the situation, knows what to do. So there's 0 mistakes. And they do their job incredibly well, and that's what wins the game. It's the guy running down on kickoff who needs to make a play in a crunch time and might not be a starter and wants to be a starter, but makes the play that saves the game. Or it's the defensive player who's a dime player, and we play dime 20% of the time, and they go in there and they do their best on those 20%, and one of those plays is the game that turns the tide. So I think if you look at the best teams I've been on, obviously there's been star players who got to play well, but it's the role players who do their job to the best. And if just some of the plays from the Super Bowl that we won, Age and I won. Obviously, Age was a big time star for us, and I was kind of coming into my own, but Howard Green made one of the bigger plays in Super Bowl. Howard was a great role player for us. Ryan Pickett made one of the bigger plays for us. And Ryan was a really good player, but he wasn't, I would say, a star player for us. He was like a really strong, solid player for us. Jarrett Bush was a solid role player for us. A great special teamer, played a little bit for us. In nickel, had an interception in the Super Bowl. Just role players doing their job to the best of their abilities is often what wins the game, whether it shows up in the stat sheet or not. And I would say that all these teams who are doing really well, there's some unsung heroes that won't get the credit, but are often the glue behind holding that whole thing together.
That's why culture matters so much. Everybody feeling like their job is the most important job, and them doing their role to their best ability means life or death for the team. And it can be tough whenever you're only getting like 3 plays a game, 4 plays a game to stay invested, especially with what D-Butt just said earlier about Amani. Great name, phenomenal name.
Oruware?
So D-Butt said earlier, and it's a very accurate take, it's like his entire life he's been the most athletic guy on any field he's ever been on. So that ball is bouncing at him. It's like, hey, let's do something with this. Fourth quarter, 1 minute left, and he's just dropped into a special teams play. And it's like, at that moment, there's a lot more people that are the same person as you, but like have much bigger roles on this particular team that we are just trying to get the ball into their hands. That is all we're trying to do at this moment. And it's an interesting little thing. And once you get people kind of bought in and all in, then everybody goes. Those are the teams that end up making it. Those are the teams that end up going strong. And then there's obviously you got to have success though for everybody buying into. That's a whole nother animal, whole nother conversation. Go ahead, AJ.
Aaron, this is what your 20th season, correct? We ask you that every time you're on here, I believe. 20.
Yes.
So it's 20. Honestly, though, for legit question though, from when you got into the league, let's say when you became a starter in the league till now, how has the game changed? Like, how have people changed? Have players changed? Like, I hear back and forth from different coaches and players. They say, now guys are the same, but everything around them might be different. Like, what's the locker room like now from before? And like, what's the game actually like? Has the scheme changed drastically in your mind?
I think the players are bigger, stronger, and faster. But I think the football IQ has dropped. A lot of that's because of the offenses at the lower level. There's not a lot of huddles. There's not a lot of adjustments. Everything comes from the sidelines for the most part. Many teams aren't using cadence. So I think from a football IQ standpoint, it's lower. From a football skill set, it's probably higher. Kids are more ready to play. I think the athleticism has obviously gotten better. Guys are... it's a different social media world. Back in 2008, camera phones were not even really going. Social media was basically Facebook, I believe, that people had. I don't know if MySpace was still holding on or not. Now, there's a lot of emphasis on the brand, and our sport is such a worldwide phenomenon. There's opportunities to make money off the field, which raises your presence kind of out there in the world, your fame, your notoriety. There's a lot of people talking about the game now, both non-former players and former players who, are trying to stay relevant fame-wise. So the takes and the criticism, I think, are a lot different than they were maybe in the mid-2000s. I'm not talking about you, Pat, so chill out, or stop being sensitive. Talking about these experts on TV who nobody remembers what they did in their career. So in order for them to stay relevant, they have to make comments that keep them in the conversation. That wasn't going on in 2008, 2009. That was non-existent. The Sports Center of my youth, those guys made the highlights so much fun, and that's what they showed on SportsCenter. Now it's all talk shows and people whose opinions are so important now, and they believe they're the celebrities now. They're the stars for just being able to talk about sports or give a take about sports, many of which are unfounded or asinine, as we all know. But that's that's the environment that we're in now, and I think as much as sports. All that stuff has helped the popularity of our game, as has gambling. The gambling on our sport and fantasy football has brought more and more popularity to our sport, which raises salaries. It's been a lot of great things that we've reaped the benefits of. The overall product of the game, I think you have better athletes with a less violent game and a game with because of some of the restrictions, coaches would say in the off season, you have less time with the players, and you have a player that maybe doesn't have the same type of football IQ as when I first got in the league.
Interesting stuff because every old player says the same thing, seemingly. And by old player, I mean like guys who've been around a long time. Tom Brady's been on a big. Tom Brady's a big proponent of what has happened to this game. Basically, that is kind of his angle. In him commentating on Sunday during the entire Bills-Rams situation where they called a timeout after not getting a sneak with 1:02 left. They had 3 timeouts left, and they don't get it. They call a timeout. And in real time, Tom Brady's like, this game's over. This game's over. Unless they get a 3% chance of an onside kick, it does not even matter if they make this a 2-point game after this touchdown. And it's like, I think the reason why Tom was so mad about that is because that was a massive mistake, a critical mistake in his eyes. That's like bad for football. Like, hey, that is a bad for football decision made there. And I think he also was upset about it because Josh Allen just did something historic. And now because of a decision that was made that wasn't his, all of a sudden they lose the game. All this stuff gets talked about ad nauseum almost by you old greats. You old greats say it. Is there ever a chance it comes back, all that stuff, or will you think this is just a one-way trip here?
It depends on what society does. I think we're mirroring society a little bit. If the softer we get, the softer our game gets, and vice versa. I mean, look at the other sports too. Hockey used to be, where you had the enforcers. You had the enforcers who would protect. You would protect the star players. That position is gone from the league now. Fights are, they don't want the fighting in it.
Whoa. They don't want the staged fights. Staged fights.
They don't want the staged fights. Okay.
Yeah.
They still allow, I do like they still allow the fighting, but they don't have the enforcers anymore. Now, part of that's, I guess, because there's so many skilled players now, and the enforcers are also really skilled now. I would get Biz on here. He knows a lot about
enforcing
and fighting and fighting.
Yeah, he's enforcing.
Shout out to Biz too. You know what I mean? What a legend.
Absolute legend. He took down an entire Irish gypsy family, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took down an entire family. The full internet reporting on this family.
Getting them.
It's Biz beat up some terrible dudes.
Yeah.
He beat the shit. That doesn't happen.
No. Champion.
In the real world, that's out of a movie what Biz did. Thank God he was at Houston's that night. That'd be Biz. Thank you, Biz.
That boy, Biz.
Biz made our country better. These people were terrorizing our country.
Yeah.
Sweet old ladies would open their front doors. I would like to get my driveway fixed. Thank you. $750, no problem. Here you go. You guys need some tea or anything? No, we're good. Thanks. We're going to go to work.
We'll be right back.
We'll let you know when this is done. Dahn. See ya. Let's go hit some more people. And Biz said, not in my town. Not in any of my 5 towns.
My restaurant.
And he beat the shit out of that guy. And then the next one. 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 What was his first response? There were 7 of them. So there's only 6 been caught. One of them got away with not being known by getting his ass kicked. But you're right. Shout out to Biz and shout out to hockey for still having some of that old school stuff. And I think in football, it's getting back to a more physical style game.
Is it?
You don't think so?
I don't know. We'll see.
Running back might win MVP.
Yeah, I saw. Again, I hate to bring up stats because that one stat about Goff that wasn't true that was out there. But is it? So I'm just to say, somebody sent me something that Saquon has had 11 runs where he's been tackled on the 1-yard line. That may or may not be true.
That one as well.
Saw that in 10 of the.
That's probably not true.
10 have turned
probably
into
not true.
touchdowns.
Don't want to throw my hat in the ring again, but I saw that as well.
As someone
10
who
of them are
has Saquon
Jalen.
on his fantasy team, it's true.
I am very happy that I both of these situations I have waited for somebody else to respond, so I didn't look like the person that just believes it. But boy, I've been caught with my pants down looking at a meme on the internet and taking it right to TV too. So can't trust anything out there because they're getting so damn good at this editing, and also the trolls will stop at no boundaries on getting a good
Your Photoshop.
which is great. But I can see how that happens because the tush push.
Yeah.
I can see that being the case. So if he had that many more touchdowns to his name.
11 seems like a lot, though. It seems like a lot.
I mean, it happened Sunday. That's how Jalen got his first touchdown. Saquon took it to the 1, and then Jalen took it.
Still 11 times, BC. That's a lot.
Jerome Bettis, remember the end of his career? He had 20 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns.
Strong game.
That is not the actual stats. I was just trying to make a point.
He was the closer.
He was.
Something like that.
Get all the way down there, And then boom, Jerome Bussy's going to take this thing home. And Bussy's going to get a touchdown. And he's going to break a league record. And he is going to have.
I didn't know that was one of his nicknames, Bussy.
Bussy, oh yeah. Bussy's taking it because the wheels on the bus go round and round. That was a song. They win one for him in Detroit, his hometown. Michael F. Florio, not to be confused with Mike Florio.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is fake, right? This is probably fake.
I don't know.
Probably.
Click on his name. Can you click on his name? Michael Florio, fantasy football NFL analyst, 81,000, NFL Fantasy, NFL Network. Feels like this guy's real. Florio's football show, once again, can't be doing that with Mike Florio existing. McQuaid does follow.
Okay. So now we're good.
Done deal.
If McQuaid is following, that means this guy is legit. So, yes, I think what you saw, what we are seeing now, real step.
But, I mean, if Saquon, I believe, again, fact check, man, that's the last two non-quarterbacks to win MVP, both rushed for 2,000 yards. Is that right?
Who was it, Derek?
AP. And Sean Alexander. Yeah.
2,000?
No, Sean didn't rush for – did Sean win MVP? He didn't rush for 2,000.
I think he had like 28 touchdowns or something.
He did. I was thinking Barry was the last in 98 when he rushed for 2,000.
How many touchdowns does Saquon have right now? We just add 11 to it, see what it should be. See what it could be. That team. All right, speaking of, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Rodgers, right now.
Connor? Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey, good to see you. I hope all those SUV drones won't, go near your house. But something going on in Philly right now is that there's this conversation, and Brandon Graham was on a radio show. He mentioned A.J. Brown and Jalen not being as close this year as, recent memory. And then there's a shot on the sideline from the game this past weekend, and A.J. Brown and Devontae weren't too happy. And, obviously things have gone very well for Philly, but after they win every game, it seems like there is some sort of drama. When something like this is happening between a quarterback and a wide receiver, how do they kind of get back on the same page? Like, should I just bet on A.J. Brown to have 250 yards and 3 touchdowns on Sunday? Or what's kind of the strategy there for Jalen and A.J.?
I don't know. Talk it out, I guess. Have a conversation. Usually those conversations happen when you're losing. What's their record? Aren't they
11-2?
Yeah, dude. This is what it's
They're
been
11-2.
This Eagles team, this is every week something. 11-2.
I mean, it's hard enough to win in this league in general, but if you're arguing and you're 11-2, yeah, I think there needs to be some voices of reason come in. I know they got some old heads on that team. Maybe Brandon Graham or one of those guys kind of mediate a conversation to go, hey, listen, we're 11-2. We got a chance to win a Super Bowl here. Like, can we just squash whatever the hell's going on here? Like, I mean, unless there's a concerted effort to not give A.J. Brown the football, which I doubt that's going on because he's such a talented player. Like, figure it out, get on the same page. Obviously, whoever's calling plays for him, find a way to get him involved early. That always helps with, stud receivers. Like, shoot, I want to get the ball to Garrett and Tay as early as possible, get him in the flow. In some games, based on coverage, doesn't happen, But yeah, like receivers want the ball all the time. Quarterbacks are trying to get them the ball. But shoot, they're 11-2. They got to figure that thing out because it's hard to win in this league. They won 11 damn games, and maybe it shouldn't be at each other like that all the time. But shit, I don't know what's going on over there.
All year.
I got respect for all those guys, but yeah, maybe you get a veteran guy in there who's a little scary, who can sit them both down and say, you shut the fuck up. Okay, this is what's going on, and get this shit sorted out.
Brandon Graham on the Brandon Graham show was actually the one that kind of like outed a lot of this information. And
oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I think he did do that on purpose to be like, hey, elephant in the room. Like, there is a chance that he was like, this needs to be talked about and settled. Now, Brandon Graham, also veteran in the room, brought a lot of conversation onto the Philadelphia Eagles culture. And Sirianni actually went out this morning and kind of talked about Jalen and AJ's relationship. And Brandon Graham walked back what he said. But it's like, sometimes these moments of public embarrassment, which is kind of what's happening to their team right now, can really galvanize a group and make people have the conversations that they're having. Or this could just be this week's bullshit that's happening with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Every week there's shit that comes out of that. Literally, They win games, so many, 11 games. Think about that. Wow. It'd be so cool to be a fan of that particular team. Whether it's Sirianni talking to a fan that was talking shit to him, whether it's not winning by enough, whether it's how they operate a game, how a situation's handled. Not every week it's just something over there, and I think that's Eagles football. I literally think that's just Eagles football.
I mean, offseason, the conversation was Jalen and Sirianni's relationship.
Oh, yeah, got to get better, can get better. Oh, these guys hate each other. Sirianni is a dipshit. And then now AJ goes passing. He's talking about now Kellen Moore is the OC. And to what you just said there about the guy calling the plays, we should assume AJ gets targeted 10, 15 times this weekend coming up?
I mean, listen, that could be the plan, but coverage can dictate certain things and reads, and if you get moved off the spot, you can get off of a read. A lot of stuff happens. It's not like I guarantee Jalen's not trying to avoid throwing the ball to his best playmaker, on the perimeter. But again, I think maybe a little perspective. You're 11-2. Like that'd be pretty fucking sweet to be 11-2 right now. I mean, winning. They say winning cures everything, but obviously, there's some places where there's always going to be a little something, and maybe that's what they thrive on is a little bit of that drama. But I do think it can go like when it gets out like this. I think it can bring you together, and if it's handled the right way, like a Wednesday, I'm sure one of those guys or both those guys are going to talk Wednesday and Thursday. They got a great chance to kind of squash it and move forward and take some accountability with that. But most of the time, if I'm really thinking about this from a player perspective, most of the time it's like emotional things that are they're exaggerated beyond what they actually are. I mean, isn't like Jalen godfather to AJ's kid or something?
So you did know the situation. It looks like you looked into it a little bit. I don't know if that is.
No, but I remember I heard that a while ago. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they hadn't been together for that long. But maybe that's not true. I thought I heard that somewhere. But anyway, I'm sure they're close. Like you
Tone Dink says that is true. We just looked it up. That is true. Holy hell! Wait,
that is true. Okay, well,
it's all mumbo jumbo.
I'm sure they're gonna figure this out. Like it's just argument between brothers, and I'm sure they got it sorted out. And this is probably overblown. For the most part. Do they want the ball? Yeah. Are they upset not getting the ball? Yeah. Is Jalen probably upset he's not getting the ball to him? Yeah, of course. But is everybody happy that Saquon's having a great year and balling out and might win MVP? Shit, I hope so.
I hope so, too.
Maybe
because if they're celebrating each other, that means they got a good culture, They got a good culture.
Speaking of
AJ's is probably saying, like most great players go, we're a better offense if I'm getting the ball. And objectively,
I would assume that's accurate, yeah. I would assume that would certainly help, and especially at some point, I forget who I heard talking about it, but like for Saquon, there's going to be favorable matchups for A.J. Brown and if Devontae's back and Goddard doing his thing. This is potentially also A.J. saying, hey, I need to be given these. When I get one-on-ones, we need to throw me the rock.
Yeah.
Right? This is potentially A.J. being a wide receiver, who is dependent upon a lot of other people to do their jobs well. Offensive line has done their job well. Offensive coordinator has to do their job well. Quarterback has to do their job well. For you to get the ball and have success, maybe he's just saying, I'm sick of it. When I got one-on-one, I would like – because you, for a large portion of your career, we have watched change plays to get a guy the ball in his hands. Speaking of, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, on Sunday, you threw your 79th touchdown pass to Devontae, and that passed Big Ben and AB for 4th all-time. Only trailing, I think it was Steve Young and Jerry Rice, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and Peyton and Marvin Harrison. So, although it's been kind of a shitty year record-wise, that's pretty sweet. Have you had any chance to kind of just like reflect on how crazy that is, being in that pantheon with those other guys? Obviously, your accolades and numbers kind of speak for themselves, but as a Packers fan, thinking of playing with you and Jordy and James Jones and Tom Crabtree and all the other greats, how crazy is it that you and Devontae are you're always going to stand the test of time?
I can't believe you didn't say John Kuhn in there.
I should have. I was going to.
Upset.
Kuhn.
And Spanks will be upset too because he caught 5 of those, 4 in the regular season and 1 in postseason. Shout out to Spanks, but
Spencer.
I didn't know about the where we stood until after the game, and Tay actually texted me that, so that was pretty cool to be in that group of 4. With some obviously played against Peyton, and Jerry and Steve and Joe were 3 of my favorite players, being a Niner fan growing up. So it's pretty cool. I like thinking about the the simplicity of the game, and it's a beautiful game in so many respects. But the touchdown to break Favre's Packer record was double stick, which is a concept as old as the West Coast offense, and that was pretty sweet. The one on Sunday to put us in the fourth was Q8. Q8's been around since the early 80s, Bill Walsh. It's sprint right option back then it was called. Now it's called Q8, where you're just trying to get the edge right there. Nice job by Ruck helping me get the edge. Tay just getting the release. And G running the world, getting this guy out of there outside releasing. It takes all those guys to do it. But I just love this. The beauty in the game is in the simplicity. And it just comes down to, guys blocking, throwing and catching, being accurate with the football. And the simplest plays are the best plays. So shout out to Bill Walsh, Paul Hackett. Those guys were mentioned with. And obviously I love playing with Tay. He's such a great player, great human being. And even though it's been such a rough year, one of the many beautiful bright spots has been being able to reconnect with Tay, and not just the on the field connection, but getting to sit next to him in meetings and pick his brain, and the text messages, at night when he's thinking about the game and I'm thinking about the game, or stuff I always appreciate.
Did you go to his Taco Bell at his house yet this year or no?
No, but I'll tell you what, I didn't know the kind of power that he had with Taco Bell, and I don't think I'm speaking out of line here, but I believe somebody came to him on our team and said, "Hey, why don't they have some menu item anymore?" And sure enough, I don't know what it was, but I swear, like a week later, that item was back on the menu.
Shout out Tay.
Wow. Just in Jersey, so
well, that might have been droned
Taco
in.
Bell.
Those might have been droned in.
Might have been droned in. It might have been droned in. You're right.
Yeah, there's a chance. Or
would have been one of them big ones though, not one of those little ones that the kids are playing. One of those big ones.
Well, of course, yeah. Crunchwrap Supreme, no sour cream. How you doing? Keep moving. Crunch, Twisty Taco Bell things.
Triple double.
There's those net guns that I've heard people have to shoot down the drones.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
But you need it. I don't know if you got a big enough net.
No, you need those
for the SUV
fishing.
drones.
You need those fishing dudes. You ever seen those fishers?
Oh, yeah.
They have that thing, and then it ends with them going, and it opens this big ass circle in the water, and they do it.
Yeah,
in
they're
slow
pretty
motion.
good at it. Yeah,
They're the
I've
ones
seen
that we
it.
need to throw that thing up.
But if we could wrangle one of those things, get it down there,
yeah,
and then see what's inside, just real quietly,
forget the net. Why don't we put some cowboys on this? Parker McCollum.
Yeah.
On a horse.
Lasso.
I mean, we can lasso this. They got great accuracy. I don't know if you've ever seen them ropers.
Great movie, Cowboys and Aliens. Incredible movie.
Oh, man.
One of the all-time greats.
Did they rope them? Did the Cowboys rope them down or no?
They did. They roped a bunch of them down. Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
James Bond.
Daniel Craig's in it. Really good movie.
Wow.
I think Keanu's in it, and
really
Nick Cage,
Ford.
Nick Nolte.
It sounds like a fake one.
No, it's one of the all-time greats.
It's real. It's
It's one of the all-time greats. I think Gary Busey's in it too.
What? What do I see right now? I feel like I'm looking at one of those stats on X right now. That's what I feel like is happening because everybody knows I'm the whole movie.
Got to pull it up with some screenshots. It is a great movie, first class.
And they were lassoing aliens.
Yeah,
you could say that. James Bond, Daniel Craig, he gets like this little wrist device in like the
got the wrist thing,
1850s, and he's just fucking shooting down stuff. It's awesome.
Off a horse?
Yeah, he's horseback quite a bit.
Wow.
But I feel like at one time he roped a couple of them down.
I think he does early on before he gets the wrist device.
Think about how much strength you got to have to lasso and rope a UAP. They didn't know that's what it was called.
Right.
No.
They didn't know what it was, but it's an unidentified aerial phenomenon now.
Yeah, correct.
Is that what it is?
Bingo.
Yeah. Because they tried to shoot it with that 6-shooter. That wouldn't happen. So they said, hey, let's get that lasso out. Let's get the lasso out.
Was there ever a standoff in the street down there with one of them? Did they do like what's that thing called where they walk 30 paces?
A duel?
Yeah.
Duel, yeah.
That's the thing that got Hamilton, Alexander.
That's right. Harrison Ford's the sheriff. He says, I don't like what's fucking going on in my town.
Yeah, and then Keanu and Gary Busey come help out.
So they are not in the movie, it sounds like.
I don't think Gary is, but I thought Keanu might be.
It had me.
This is like the Washington football team's coaching staff back in the day. That's what it sounds
No,
like.
they're from the neighboring town. They come over, they ride over.
Okay. We'll be exiting ESPN here. We will continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, TikTok Live for now.
Yeah.
We've been warning people. Nobody's been taking us serious.
I know.
And here we are.
And here we are. Have we not?
Is that
been?
real?
I
Is it
tell
real?
ya.
Yeah, they're saying they need to figure that out or that thing's going to be gone. We've been trying to say it. I was getting attacked for even saying it. TikTok people
Live.
Huh?
Buy it, Aaron. Sure.
Aaron, buy TikTok.
TikTok
You
Live.
could buy it.
Yeah.
You could buy it.
We're also on Disney Plus, I believe.
Wow. Really?
If I had been in Cowboys and Aliens and gotten the royalties, I would be able to buy it for sure.
We just said yes.
Yeah.
And I think you should say yes to whatever's on this particular channel next because they're great people. We'll continue our crop program on the internet. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. I feel like we did it.
Cowboys and Aliens is legit.
When was the movie made? Is it one of those ones?
Wasn't it nominated for an Academy Award?
Certainly not.
Best Picture.
I think it came out
2011.
There you go.
I
think Michael Caine's in it too, but he doesn't have the
No.
British accent. Doesn't have the accent. It's kind of weird.
Michael Caine.
I don't think I know who Michael Caine is.
Michael
you know
Alfred
who he
from
is.
Ty does
Batman.
it. Ty does
Yeah, see, there he is. All right. Okay, we got Olivia Wilde and
Yep, Willed.
Olivia.
I don't know why they didn't show.
Her name's Wilde, right?
It is.
It's Olivia Wilde.
Yes.
They didn't get. Why didn't they get Nick Cage and for Nick Cage or Nick Nolte or?
So it sounds like
understand.
all the people you guys said were in the movie, not in the movie. Because if all those people were in the movie, they would put
No, I always said
They're aliens.
well, I think they had cameos.
Yeah. Pat, you know Michael Caine. He reads the first page of the script and the last page of the script,
Yeah.
and his name's on both pages. He does a fucking movie.
This is the guy with Batman?
Yes.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
He's
the
a
man.
dog.
Yeah.
But he was looking out for him.
Don't. That was really good. Is that real though? Is that what he really said?
That was I believe I've been saying that quote from him for a long, long time. And if it's not real, I'm gonna be very
This could
disappointed.
be one of those.
I don't even
plates.
care. I want it to be real. I want
that
it to be real. Like, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I thought that was Russell Brand who said that.
No, he said it, but the guy who regaled the story, is kind of not desirable now, unfortunately. So I don't know if we'll still talk about that.
Who was it?
I believe it was Kevin Spacey told that story on. I want to say it was
He's back,
Letterman or
right?
something. He might be. He just did a movie recently that just bombed big time. So his box office appeal's gone, unfortunately.
All right, back for you, Hawk.
President Underwood. Michael Caine has said that he will only take on a role if the part is on both the first and last pages of a script. I read the first page and the last page, and if the part they want me to do is on both pages, I do the picture. It's easy as that.
Wow.
Caine is an actor who retired from film at the age of 90. After a 7-decade career, he said he wanted to end on a high note as he felt the roles available to him at his age would not be leading roles. Hey, dog. Way to go.
Also played Nigel Powers, father of Austin Powers.
He did.
Oh, great movie back in the day. Congratulations on a great career.
Whoa.
Spy Who Shagged Me.
Congrats. Michael Caine's best movie though is probably The Prestige or The Batman's.
Prestige is a great movie.
Prestige.
Prestige,
And
is-
Goldmember is the only Austin Powers worth watching. Let's be honest.
and that's strictly because you guys
That's-
call
that's
the
the
red
one he was
zone
in.
the gold zone. And so it's like most prevalent in your life. I'd assume the other, Michael Caine is in that one. I assume the other one's good too, if we were to just watch them every day.
They're pretty good. They still hold up.
A bit nutty.
Michael Myers, wasn't he, didn't he did that game show where he was a fat
Yes.
British person. Do you remember this game show? he
Yeah,
did?
I do.
Michael Myers is just out there seemingly just fucking around, just doing whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Shrek 5's coming out.
Great movie. He's Canadian?
Yes.
Was Michael Caine on the Now
Legend.
You See Me's as well?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
That's great.
Great movie.
Him and Harry
What's
Potter.
going on with Canada, Gump? What's going on?
Not much. Haven't been keeping up, to be fair.
Sounded
I'm
like you're not going to need a passport anymore or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Talking about the state up
Perfect.
north?
great.
Stayed up north, huh? There's some lot of great actors from Canada though, like Keanu Reeves. That's about it. But
Whoa.
What about Mike Myers?
Someone does.
no, there's a lot of great Canadians. A lot of great Canadians.
Wayne Gretzky. I mean,
Yeah, Wayne
Brad
Reynolds.
Sidney
Marchand.
Crosby.
Kid Canada, Nathan O'Rourke.
oh yeah, Kid Canada.
Nickelback.
Bieber.
Celine
Letterkenny.
Dion.
Yeah, Rush.
Driz.
Who's that, Foxy?
Bieber's Canadian.
Bieber.
Bieber is Canadian.
He is. Yeah, he
Canada
is.
was trying to trade him to America. There was a time where that was happening. I think now everybody's kind of like,
Yeah, for the Merchant of Death.
go on.
Yeah.
No, that was not.
And Jay-Z.
That happened.
He's not Canadian.
I think Jay-Z's from New York.
Well,
Not from Saskatoon.
I thought he was part of the trade.
All right, let's get a break. Bobby Wagner will join us on the other side.
Ah, Bobby. Hey.
Hey, Bob.
You know Bob?
Big fan of Bob's.
Walter Payton.
Hall of Fame. Gold jacket guy.
Okay. We'll be talking to a gold jacket guy on the other side who's the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from the Washington Commanders. Aaron, we can't thank you enough for your time, brother. Look out for those drones, for real.
Hey, listen, I'm going to go after this, and I'm going to watch a little bit of film, and then I'm going to watch the most important film, and that's Cowboys and Aliens.
That's right.
All right? Just so I can be ready for tonight. And
because you're
be safe out there. All my fellow New Jerseyans, be safe out there.
Yeah, for a lot of things that
film
happen.
Film all of it,
film
okay?
it.
Especially if you live out by Woody and Trump's course. Film everything.
So, we're learning more about Bedminster. We just did. What's that PE thing 5 you're doing tonight?
CE5.
There it is. Good luck.
CE5. 5E.
I hope
Fifth
you come.
encounter. Close encounters of the fifth kind. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers. Shout out Stephen Greer, legend.
So are you. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Shout out Keanu Reeves.
You did a couple times today. You put him in movies, he's not in.